Welcome, friends, once again. We are in the chapter Federalism, and in this session, we are going to learn about how federalism practiced in India. How federalism is practiced in India. The real success of federalism in India can be attributed to the nature of democratic politics in our country. Yes, it is true, friends. The democratic politics since the existence of elected governments in India, we are following a smooth transfer of power from party to party. For the first time in 1952, elected government has come into existence with the Prime Ministership of Jawaharlal Nehru. From then onwards until 2024, smooth passage we could find. Okay, so to this democratic politics is the strength of our federalism. This ensured the spirit of federalism, respect for diversity, and desire for living together became shared ideals of our country. Which means the democratic politics, whatever we are following from the day one, is our spirit of federalism. We respect the government of India, the governments at different levels, at state levels, respect the diversity, and both of them, central government and state governments, desire for living together. These are some of the ideals which both the governments will follow, will share each other. And here we find the ways of how we practice the federal structure. Some of the steps Indian government has taken. In that first one, linguistic states, formation of linguistic states. In 1947, the boundaries of several old states were changed in order to create new states to ensure that the people who spoke same language live in same state. If you find the map of India in 1947, it was completely different compared to today's map. Okay, both the maps, if you compare, both are different. The map of India in 1947, the map of India in 2024. It's only because at that time in 1947, when the country got independence, 550 around 550 princely states were ruling over. The map was according to the kingship, as the kings were controlling their regions. According to that, the maps were there. Whatever the region they ruled, the Indian map looked like that. But afterwards, on the basis of language, states were formed. So now we find the linguistic states, and these linguistic states were possible with detailed discussion, deliberations. In that, in 1947, that process has started on what basis the states have to be formed. Some states were created to recognize the differences based on culture, ethnicity, and geography. For example, Nagaland, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand. And in India, some regions are there where ethnicity or geographical area of that place or culture differed from other parts of the country. For example, Bihar and Jharkhand, though they are one, but ethnicity is different. Language is one, Bhojpuri, but ethnicity is different. That's why Bihar was divided and one more state was formed, Jharkhand. Uttarakhand used to be part of Uttar Pradesh, but because of ethnicity, Uttarakhand is separated from Uttar Pradesh. In the same manner, some other countries, some other states also were formed. Result of this, the formation of linguistic states has made the country more united, and it has also made administration easier. Second one is language policy. In the Indian Federation, our constitution did not give status of national language to any one language. Hindi was identified as an official language. Many more people think that Hindi is our national language. In constitution, nowhere it is written Hindi as our national language. It is declared as official language. Since Hindi is the mother tongue of only 40% of Indians, there were many safeguards to protect other languages. In what way the other languages are protected? Besides Hindi, there are 21 other languages recognized as scheduled languages by the Constitution. A candidate in an examination conducted for the central government positions may opt to take the examination in any of these languages. Much of the government work takes place in the official language of the concerned state, concerned language. Use of Hindi. Sometimes there was a possibility of India having conflict, like in Sri Lanka. Unlike in Sri Lanka, leaders of our country adopted a cautious attitude in spreading the use of Hindi. According to the constitution, the use of English for an official purpose was to stop by 1965. Until 1965, both Hindi and English were official languages of India. So it was decided earlier from 1965 onwards, English will be removed. But however, many non-Hindi speaking states demanded that the use of English continue. In Tamil Nadu, this movement has taken a violent form. So central government has responded by agreeing to continue the use of English along with the Hindi as an official purposes. Then the consequences arise. Many crucial critics think that solution favor the English-speaking elite. English-speaking people will get a benefit of the same. Promotion of Hindi continues to be the official policy of Government of India. Promotion does not mean that the central government can impose Hinduism or Hindi language on states where people speak a different language. The flexibility shown by Indian political leaders helped our country avoid the kind of situation that Sri Lanka finds itself in. It's true, friends, the political leaders, we have to appreciate the way the flexibility they have shown definitely avoided the conflict such like in Sri Lanka. Central-state relations is one more way of practice of federalism in India. Restructuring the central-state relations is one of the way in which federalism has been strengthened in practice, especially in India. How constitutional arrangements for sharing power work in reality depends on to a larger extent on how the ruling parties and leaders follow these arrangements. Yes, friends, it is true that the way we practice, the way we follow the arrangements is a matter of fact than that of what is there on paper. Okay. Whatever is there on paper, it's not necessary that the leaders will follow in the same manner. But Indian politicians are following these arrangements. That's why Indian democratic politics is very good democratic politics. Consequences: as and when the ruling party at the state level was different, the parties that ruled at the center tried to undermine the powers of the states. The central government would often misuse the constitution to dismiss the state governments that were controlled by rival parties. This undermines the spirit of federalism. Sometimes this is possible that central government may misuse, and sometimes they have misused also, but this is a clear indication of undermining the spirit of federalism. So the changes after 1990, whatever are there, let us understand. This period saw the rise of regional political parties in many states of the country. This was also the beginning of era of coalition governments at the center. This led to the culture of power sharing and respect for the autonomy of state governments. This trend was supported by a major judgment of Supreme Court that made it difficult for the central government to dismiss state governments in an arbitrary manner. This federal power sharing is more effective today than it was in the early years of the constitution came into force. These are the changes which we find after 1990, which has strengthened the federalism in India. Thank you very much. Please subscribe and follow my channel.